Oh yeah, yeah. We got another little topic right here. Outside of boxing, of course. I do a little boxing post-fight stuff, but I kind of wanted to, go in on this little Tyler Perry, thing that's going around. You know, there was a time where I kind of was. Let me start off saying this. I like Tyler Perry's plays back in the day. The early 2000s, I would watch the little videos. You go to the barber shop or whatever, and that was always playing at the time because everybody was selling Tyler Perry's, little plays on bootleg. The barber shops were selling them. I mean, at the time, we can go to the CD man. They were selling, 5 for 20, whatever it was back then. When CDs was still hot. They also had the Tyler Perry, or at least the dude that I would go to. He would have the Tyler Perry movies too. And of course, that's what they did. They had movies and so, but it was actually Tyler Perry plays at the time. It wasn't even the movies. Early 2000s. That's when I got put on. And it got to the point where, like, I guess around 2003 or four, you would see like every black person house you go to they was playing Tyler Perry. But now keep in mind all of them was bootleg. But everybody and they grandma and auntie was looking at Tyler Perry plays in the black community. I'm talking about all of them. They knew about them. Only a few of them though went to the actual plays, but he got hot off of bootleg, and people was bootlegging his plays, and then when people decided they wanted to go see the plays, they would actually go pay to see the plays live. So bootleg actually helped him get his name, spread his name. And then people eventually start buying the actual real, productions of the plays. So, which is good too. But that led him to Diary of a Black Woman, which that's the first play that I saw of his back in the day. But he ended up developing, shooting his own film, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. It did well at the theaters. And to be honest with you, after I think about it, he did in the mid to late 2000s what, you know, Master P and Cash Money and all them in the 90s did with music, built up a brand, cultivated his own audience, and sold basically directly to them. And of course, you get distribution or whatever, but he built up almost like a grassroots word of mouth following, the Chitlin Circuit type exposure, and had everybody with the word of mouth liking his product, which is his plays that was geared to, church going Black Americans. And to this day, that's his base. He's known in Hollywood, but his real base still supports him in all his movies. And that leads me to the thought of, after a while, like, his plays was good. I felt the plays, but in his movies, I think the movies themselves started to become more very formulaic, and it was kind of like the same theme over and over again. People started to pick up on that, so people who was thinking, trying to break down these movies, like, yo, look at how he depict black men in all these films, and look at what he's doing. But he was kind of serving his own, audience for whatever they was going through. And I kind of got caught up in that too at the time. Like, I started like dissing it. Like, I didn't want to see no Tyler Perry movies and none of that no more, because it was the same type of formula that he had, the way he would depict black men like they did back in the 80s and 90s in his movies, doing the same thing. as monsters and deadbeats and all that stuff. So, and on top of it, there's a lot of stereotype stuff in there. So I can understand the backlash from it, but after I think about it, it was really kind of like people being jealous of what he was doing, because this man actually took his brand, took his audience, his core audience, and brought it to the world. That part right there, no matter what I think about his actual content, is brilliant. And that's what black people need to be really focusing on going forward when it comes to this entertainment business, whether it's movies, music, whatever. The internet right now, you can take your stuff, upload it somewhere, get millions of views and get paid for it yourself. Same thing with music. So I think the thing about the best part about Tyler Perry is his life and his work in his life is an example to other African Americans that you can actually develop a audience, a core audience. They like your material because it's quality material, regardless of who agree with it or not, and build an empire off of it because he created his own lane. That studio is massive. And to have something that big shows you that ownership is what I think black people need to really do on the map. We need honestly, 100 Tyler Perrys to make an impact on a huge scale. But to show that what he has, that he's doing is possible, that should hopefully over the next few decades inspire the youth to say, I want to do that. And that's a good part about what he's doing. So that's a direction that when it comes to entertainment and entertainment industry, and is ownership, owning your own studios, distribution, green lighting your own films, not having to wait for these old antiquated outlets to get approval of what you want to put out from your community and your worldview and perspective. So I think Tyler Perry is definitely good for the culture overall because of his example of what he's doing. There's other steps that need to be taken to really, mash on the system as far as putting our worldview as African Americans and making sure that we have power in the media and our images. But this dude, hopefully it's going to be more Tyler Perry's when it comes to black ownership of their own product. And I think that should be the next wave, not just having black images. It's also having black ownership of your images. So that's what it is.